Have you ever stopped to think about why some people clean their house every day, but the bad smell still persists? It seems that no matter how much you scrub, wash, or mop, that unpleasant odor stubbornly remains. And you know what's worse? You end up getting used to the smell, but visitors notice it the moment they walk through the door. It's embarrassing, isn't it? Look, I'm going to tell you something that a lot of people don't know. The problem isn't the lack of cleanliness. Actually, it's a few simple mistakes you make without realizing it that are turning your house into a breeding ground for bad smells. They're small details, things that seem trivial, but they make all the difference. In this video, I'm going to reveal the 10 most common mistakes that leave your house smelling bad, and more importantly, I'm going to show you exactly how to fix each one of them right now. These are practical, easy to apply solutions that won't cost you almost anything. If you don't watch until the end, you'll continue wasting your time and money on expensive products that don't really solve the problem. But if you stay with me until the end, you'll discover the secret to having a home that always smells fresh, feels great, and is pleasant, the kind people compliment as soon as they walk in. So come with me, and I'll show you everything clearly. Tip 1. Leave dish towels and damp towels hanging up. You know that dish towel you use to dry the dishes and then leave hanging on the stove or sink? Well, that's one of the biggest culprits for bad smells in the kitchen. The moisture that remains in the fabric is the perfect environment for bacteria and fungi to multiply. In just a few hours, that towel that should be cleaning your dishes becomes a breeding ground for microorganisms that release a horrible, musty and sour smell. The same thing happens with bath towels. Many people use the towel, hang it in a poorly ventilated bathroom, and leave it there for days. The towel doesn't dry properly, stays damp, and starts to develop that musty smell that clings to your skin when you dry yourself after showering. It's a vicious cycle that seems endless. The solution is simpler than you imagine. First, have several dish towels at home, at least 5 or 6. Use one towel at a time and change it every day, without exception. After use, don't leave the damp towel hanging. Take it directly to the laundry area or to a separate basket and let it dry completely before putting it in the laundry basket. When washing, add a little white vinegar to the rinse water. The vinegar kills bacteria and eliminates the smell once and for all. With bath towels, the rule is similar. After showering, spread the towel out in a place where it can get air and sun if possible. Don't leave it folded or piled up in the bathroom. If your bathroom doesn't have a window, take the towel to a well-ventilated place to dry. Change your towel every 2 or 3 showers at most, and when washing, use hot water if the fabric allows, and add baking soda along with the soap. Baking soda neutralizes odors and leaves the towels smelling really good. Oh, and there's one more important detail. Never ever leave wet clothes in the washing machine after the cycle is finished. That musty smell that lingers on clothes is almost impossible to remove. As soon as the machine stops, take everything out and hang it up immediately. If you follow these simple tips, you'll notice a huge difference in the smell of your house in just a few days. It's incredible how something so basic makes such a big difference, but it does. Your kitchen and bathroom will have that clean smell that lasts all day. Tip 2. Forgetting to clean the sink and shower drains. Now let's talk about a place that almost no one remembers to clean, and that is one of the biggest sources of bad smells in any house: the drains. You know that sewage smell that sometimes rises in the bathroom or kitchen, especially on warmer days? Well, most of the time the problem is a clogged or dirty drain that you don't even notice. Every day, food scraps, hair, grease, soap, and dirt go down the drain. Over time, all of this accumulates on the pipe walls, forming a disgusting crust that rots inside. This crust becomes full of bacteria that release foul-smelling gases. Even if you wash the sink or shower stall, if the drain is dirty, the bad smell will keep coming back. The truth is, cleaning the drain needs to become a habit in your cleaning routine. At least once a week, you have to do a basic cleaning. I'm going to teach you a simple and effective method that really works. First, remove the drain cover and remove as much debris as you can with your hand or tweezers. I know it's gross, but it needs to be done. Use gloves if you want. After removing the heavy dirt, boil a liter of water. While the water is boiling, put 2 tablespoons of baking soda directly down the drain. Then pour half a cup of white vinegar over the baking soda. You'll see it start to foam and make a gurgling sound. Let this mixture sit for about 15 minutes. The baking soda and vinegar together will loosen all the grease and dirt stuck in the pipes. After 15 minutes, pour boiling water down the drain to flush away all the dirt. The hot water helps melt the grease and cleans deeply. Do this once a week, and you'll see that the sewer smell disappears completely. If the drain is very clogged, it may be necessary to repeat the process twice in a row. Here's another trick that works really well to keep your drains smelling fresh every day. Save the lemon or orange peels you use in the kitchen. Every time you pour something down the drain, also throw in a small piece of citrus peel. The natural oil from the peel helps clean the pipes and leaves a fresh scent. It's simple, free, and super effective. Your bathroom and kitchen will have that clean smell you want. Tip 3. Don't ventilate the house every day. Here's a truth that many people ignore. Your house needs to breathe. If you keep the windows always closed, the air becomes stagnant, stale, and laden with odors. It's as if you're breathing the same air as yesterday, the day before yesterday, last week. Everyone who enters your house notices this heavy air, but you've become accustomed to it and don't even notice it anymore. When air doesn't circulate, moisture gets trapped inside the house. And where there's stagnant moisture, there's mold, bacteria, and bad smells. Furthermore, odors from food, cleaning products, sweat, everything becomes concentrated in a closed environment. It's no use cleaning everything if the air remains stale. The solution is to open the windows and doors every day without fail. Early in the morning, as soon as you wake up, open all the windows in the house and let the air circulate for at least 30 minutes. Ideally, do this when the sun is rising because the air is fresher and cleaner. If you live in a very busy or polluted area, choose a time when there is less traffic on the street. At night, before going to sleep, open the windows again for another 20 or 30 minutes. This cross-ventilation is essential to renew the air and eliminate odors from the day. Even if it's cold, open the windows at least a little. It's better to wear a coat than to live in a stuffy and smelly environment. If it rains, no problem. You can open the windows on the side that isn't getting rained on. On sunny days, take advantage of the opportunity to open everything up and let the sunlight in. The sun is a powerful natural disinfectant that kills bacteria and fungi. Let the sun shine on the furniture, the floor, the curtains. You'll notice how clean and airy the house smells with just this simple action. And best of all, it costs nothing and requires no effort. Before we move on to the next tip, I need to ask you something that will help me a lot. If you're enjoying this video and want more practical tips like these, subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications so you don't miss any new videos. And tell me in the comments where you're watching from. I love knowing who's on the other side of the screen. Deal? Now let's continue. Tip 4. Accumulating trash inside the house for several days. Let's talk about a mistake that seems obvious, but that many people make. Letting trash accumulate inside the house. It doesn't matter if the bag is closed or if the trash can has a lid, the trash starts to smell bad within a few hours, especially on hot days. And this smell spreads throughout the house, clinging to curtains, furniture, and clothes. Some people only take out the trash when the bag is completely full. They keep squeezing, compacting, adding more and more trash until there's no more room. This is a terrible mistake. Trash, especially organic waste, begins to decompose very quickly. Food scraps, fruit peels, dirty packaging, all of this rots and releases an unbearable smell that contaminates the environment. The golden rule is simple. Take out the kitchen trash every day without exception. It doesn't matter if the bag is half full or almost empty, it doesn't matter. Every day, preferably at night before going to bed, tie the bag and take it outside. Believe me, this will make an incredible difference in the smell of your house. You'll wake up the next day and the kitchen will have a completely different atmosphere. If you live in an apartment and can't go downstairs every day to take out the trash, then put the bags in an outdoor area, such as a balcony or utility room, away from the main living areas. Never leave the trash in the kitchen waiting for collection day, and always use strong leak-proof trash bags, because the liquid that leaks from the trash is one of the most disgusting and smelly things there is. Now comes a trick that few people know, but works very well. Before putting the trash bag in the bin, sprinkle a little baking soda at the bottom. The baking soda absorbs moisture and neutralizes odors. Every time you throw food scraps in the trash, sprinkle a little baking soda on top. This will hold the bad smell until you take the trash out. Another important thing, wash the trash can at least once a week with soap, water, and disinfectant. The trash can itself accumulates dirt and bacteria on the bottom and sides. Even if you always use bags, that dirt will stick and start to smell. After washing, let the trash can dry completely in the sun before putting in a new bag. Your kitchen will thank you, and the bad smell will disappear for good. Tip 5. Not cleaning the air conditioner and fan filters. Many people have no idea, but that musty smell that lingers in the air when you turn on the air conditioner or fan comes from the accumulated dirt in these appliances. The air conditioner filter is a magnet for dust, mites, fungi, and bacteria. And every time you turn on the appliance, it spreads all of that into the air of your house. It's as if you were throwing dirt and bad smells into the environment. The same goes for fans. Those dust-covered blades aren't just dirty. They're creating a perfect environment for microorganisms to thrive. When the fan spins, it throws all that dust and dirt into the air you breathe. Besides being bad for your health, it leaves the house with a horrible, musty smell. The solution is to include cleaning these devices in your routine. The air conditioner filter needs to be cleaned every 15 days, especially if you use the unit every day. Turn off the air conditioner, carefully remove the filter, and wash it with running water and mild soap. Scrub well with a soft brush to remove all dirt. Let it dry completely before putting it back. Never put the filter back in wet, because this can cause a short circuit and damage the unit. If your air conditioner has a dehumidification function, use it regularly. The moisture that accumulates inside the unit is one of the causes of musty smells. And at least once a year, call a technician to perform a complete internal cleaning of the air conditioner. This professional cleaning removes mold and bacteria that accumulate in internal parts that you can't reach. With fans, cleaning is easier. Unplug the appliance and remove the protective grill. Wash the blades and grill with soap and water and a sponge. Dry everything very well before reassembling. Do this at least once a month. You will notice how the air blown by the fan will be fresher and cleaner without that musty, dusty smell. Tip 6. Leaving dirty clothes piled up for too long. You know that laundry basket in the bathroom or bedroom that accumulates clothes for days and days? Well, it's a smelly bomb waiting to explode. Dirty clothes, especially the ones you wore to work out, to work, or to sleep in, are full of sweat, dead skin cells, and bacteria. When you pile everything up in a closed basket without ventilation, it starts to ferment and the smell becomes unbearable. The problem is even worse if you mix wet clothes with dry ones. A damp towel, sweaty gym clothes, a wet kitchen towel, all of this together creates a perfect environment for mold and bacteria. The smell that comes from this basket contaminates the entire room, and sometimes spreads throughout the house. It's that strong, sour smell you notice when you open the basket. The first thing you need to do is have 2 separate baskets, one for dry clothes and another for damp or very dirty clothes. Damp clothes need to dry before going into the basket, so hang them on a temporary clothesline first. Never ever leave wet clothes piled up, because in a few hours, the musty smell will take over everything. Don't let clothes pile up for more than 3 or 4 days. Ideally, wash clothes twice a week to prevent that awful smell from developing. If you live alone and don't have that much dirty laundry, no problem, wash less often. But don't leave clothes stored for a whole week. The longer dirty clothes stay in the laundry basket, the harder it is to get rid of the smell later. A simple trick that works very well is to place a small cloth bag filled with baking soda inside the laundry basket. The baking soda absorbs moisture and neutralizes odors. You can also use those lavender or eucalyptus sachets that leave a pleasant scent. Change the bag every 2 weeks, and always use a basket with holes or openings to allow air circulation. A closed basket is the enemy of a fragrant home. Tip 7. Forgetting to clean rugs and carpets regularly. The rugs and carpets in your home are like sponges that absorb everything: dust, dirt, pet hair, mites, food scraps, moisture. Over time, all of this accumulates in the fibers and begins to give off an unpleasant smell. You may not even notice it because you're used to it, but anyone who enters your home will smell it immediately. Vacuuming once a week isn't enough. The vacuum cleaner only removes surface dirt, but the deep-seated dirt, the kind that's ingrained in the fabric fibers, remains. And it's this deep-seated dirt that releases bad odors, especially when the environment becomes humid or when someone steps on the carpet with sweaty feet. You need to do a deeper cleaning of your carpets at least once a month. There's a super effective homemade method that doesn't require an expensive machine or product. Sprinkle baking soda generously all over the carpet. Scrub the baking soda with a brush so it penetrates the fibers well. Let it sit for at least 2 hours. The longer the better. The baking soda will absorb all the moisture, dirt, and odors. After 2 hours, vacuum very slowly to suck up all the baking soda along with the dirt it absorbed. You'll be surprised at how much dirt will come out. The carpet will be clean, soft, and odorless. If the carpet is light-colored and has stains, you can make a paste of baking soda with a little water and rub it on the stains before vacuuming. If the rug is very large or very dirty, it's worth investing in professional cleaning once or twice a year. There are specialized services that do this work, and the result is impressive. The carpet looks brand new again, and the smell of the house changes completely. And when the weather is nice, take the smaller rugs out into the sun and beat them well to remove dust. The sun kills fungi and bacteria naturally and leaves everything smelling fresh. Tip 8. Don't forget to clean the inside of cabinets and drawers. Some people clean the entire house, wash the floors, clean the windows, but never open the closets and drawers to clean inside. And that's where one of the biggest problems with bad smells lies. Inside the closets, dirt, moisture, and mold accumulate without you noticing. That musty, moldy old smell comes from there. Clothes stored for a long time, old shoes, forgotten objects, all of these things gather dust and create that characteristic smell of a closed closet. And the worst part is that this smell clings to your clean clothes. You take a garment out of the closet and it already smells bad before you even wear it. It's frustrating because you washed, ironed, and folded everything neatly. But when you go to wear it, the clothes stink. Every 3 months, take everything out of your closets and drawers, absolutely everything. Wipe all shelves, drawers, and corners with a damp cloth using water and a little disinfectant. Let it dry completely before putting things back. Take the opportunity to do a thorough cleaning and get rid of what you no longer use. Old clothes, old shoes, broken objects, all of these things accumulate bad energy and unpleasant smells. Before we continue, let me tell you something quick. If you want to have a clean, organized, and fragrant home without wasting hours of your day or spending money on expensive products, I've prepared a complete guide with easy homemade recipes, a weekly checklist, and professional tricks that really work. The link is in the first pinned comment. Now let's continue with the video. After cleaning and drying, place small fabric bags filled with lavender, cloves, or cinnamon inside the closets. These natural scents keep the closet smelling fresh and repel moths and other insects. You can also use those ready-made sachets sold in supermarkets, but homemade ones work better and are cheaper. Replace the sachets every 2 or 3 months when they lose their scent. Another important tip is to never store damp clothes or wet shoes in the closet. Let everything dry completely before storing it. A single wet shoe stored in the closet can make the entire room smell musty. And if you live in a humid place, consider buying silica gel sachets, those little packets that come inside shoe and electronics boxes. They absorb moisture and protect your clothes from mold. Tip 9. Leaving the dish sponge dirty and soaking wet. The dish sponge is one of the dirtiest objects in your house, believe it or not. It's always damp, full of food scraps, grease, and detergent. It's a paradise for bacteria. One study showed that a kitchen sponge can have more bacteria than a toilet seat. Think about that. You're using that sponge to clean the dishes you eat from. Every time you use a sponge and leave it wet in the sink, bacteria multiply by the millions. In a few hours, the sponge starts to give off that horrible, sour, rotten smell. And that smell contaminates the sink, the dish towels, and the entire kitchen. You wash the dishes, but the kitchen still smells bad because the source of the problem is right there, in the dirty sponge. The first rule is to change your sponge every week without exception. I know it seems wasteful, but it's not. An old sponge doesn't clean properly and also spreads bacteria all over the dishes. If you want to save money, buy sponges in large packs, which are cheaper. But don't use the same sponge for weeks. That's terrible. Between dishwashing changes, you need to sanitize the sponge every day. After washing the dishes, rinse the sponge thoroughly with plenty of running water and soap. Squeeze it well to remove all the water and dirt. Then place the wet sponge in the microwave for 1 minute on high power. The heat from the microwave kills almost all bacteria. Be careful because the sponge will be very hot. Use tongs or wait for it to cool down a little before handling it. If you don't have a microwave, boil the sponge in a pot of water for 5 minutes. The result is the same. After cleaning, wring the sponge well to remove as much water as possible and let it dry in a well-ventilated place, preferably in the sun. Never leave the sponge in the sink or under the tap. Find a sponge holder where it stands upright and air can circulate on all sides. Your kitchen will smell much better with this simple change. Tip 10. Do not wash curtains and blinds. The curtains and blinds in your home are giant filters that capture dust, smoke, food odors, pollution, and everything else in the air. Over time, they become impregnated with dirt and begin to release a bad smell that you don't even notice, but it's there, making the environment heavy and unpleasant. Some people live in the same house for years and never wash their curtains. Just thinking about it makes you imagine the amount of dirt that accumulates. Curtains mainly absorb grease from the kitchen when you cook, smoke if there are smokers in the house, and even the smell of pets. All of this settles in the fabric and creates that characteristic musty smell. Fabric curtains need to be washed at least every 3 months. I know it's a hassle to take them down, wash them, dry them, and put them back up, but it's necessary. If the curtain is small and fits in the washing machine, wash it in the machine using cold water and mild detergent. If it's too large, take it to a dry cleaner or wash it by hand in a large basin. After washing, hang the curtain in the sun to dry completely before hanging it back on the window. Blinds are easier to clean, but still require attention. Wipe each slat with a damp cloth at least once a week. The dust that accumulates on blinds is enormous and contributes significantly to unpleasant odors in the room. Once a month, remove the blinds and wash them with water, soap, and a soft sponge. Dry them thoroughly before reinstalling them. If you don't have time to wash your curtains very often, at least spray them with a homemade spray of water with a few drops of lavender or eucalyptus essential oil. This helps neutralize odors and leaves a fresh scent in the room. And whenever possible, open the windows and let the wind blow on the curtains. Fresh air helps renew the fabric and remove that musty smell. Your curtains will last longer and your home will have a much more pleasant atmosphere. We've reached the end of our video, and I sincerely hope these tips make a difference in your home. Look, you don't need to do everything at once. Start with 1 or 2 mistakes you've identified in your routine and correct them little by little. The important thing is not to give up and to maintain consistency. A fragrant home doesn't happen by chance. It's the result of small daily habits that make all the difference. Remember how I talked at the beginning about the simple mistakes we make without realizing it? Now you know exactly what they are and how to fix them. You don't need to spend a fortune on expensive chemical products. The most effective solutions are the simplest and cheapest, using things you already have at home, like baking soda, vinegar, and hot water. From today onwards, when you enter your home, you will feel the difference. Your visitors will notice and will surely compliment you. There is nothing more pleasant than arriving home and being greeted by a fresh, clean, and fragrant environment. This changes your mood, improves your disposition, and even helps you sleep better. So now I challenge you. Choose one of the tips I gave you and put it into practice today. It can be the easiest one, or the one you think will make the biggest difference in your home. The important thing is to take the first step. And then tell me in the comments which tip you chose and what results you got. I read all the comments, and I love to know how you are applying these tips in real life. And if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, subscribe now and turn on notifications so you don't miss any new videos. Every week I bring you practical, easy, and truly effective tips to help you have a cleaner, more organized, and fresher smelling home. It's quality content that will help you in your daily life. Before I finish, I want to remind you of something important. If you want to have a clean, organized, and fragrant home without wasting hours of your day or spending money on expensive products, I've prepared a complete guide with simple homemade recipes, a weekly checklist, and professional tricks that really work. The link is in the first pinned comment. It's worth checking out to transform your routine in a practical and economical way. A huge kiss to your heart, and see you in the next video.